Hi, everybody. Welcome back to this week's episode of the Jimmy Dore Show. My special guest is Republican Representative Richard Martin from Ohio's 19th District. Hi, Richard. How are you?
I'm good, Jim.
You look great.
Appreciate you having me.
Yeah, you look very, very white.
Yeah.
You look very white. All right, I was watching ABC's Sunday news show this week with George Snuffleupagus, and he... well, here he is. He introduces the panel, so let's just take a look at the panel.
And we are back with our roundtable. George will off today, but we're joined by Matthew Dowd, former Obama advisor, White House advisor Van Jones, also the co-founder of Rebuild the Dream.
Okay, so he has one person who worked in the Bush White House and one person who worked, and then to balance that, he has a person who worked in the in the Obama White House. Next person.
Greta Van Susteren of Fox News. Welcome back.
Oh, so then he has on a fake news journalist, right, from a fake news channel. That's nice. And then he balances her out with...
Reid, head of the Faith and Freedom Coalition.
Oh, so he balances her out with a fake Christian who's a phony and a fraud who's been exposed as a criminal. Okay, that's nice. Right? You have to balance out phony journalists with phony Christians. Who else is on the show?
The chair of the Democratic Party.
The chair of the Democratic Party, Farrah Fawcett Majors, is on the show.
Yeah. You know, Jim, I resent you saying that Fox is a phony news channel. You know, they do what a lot of journalists are afraid to do. You know, any journalist can tell you what happened. Fox will tell you what's going to happen, and that's very valuable.
That is very valuable. Okay, so I don't understand what's with Debbie Wasserman Schultz's hair. I don't know how she thinks she can get away with that.
Yeah.
But she's trying to, anyway. Yeah. Okay, so here he is talking with Rahm Emanuel, George Snuffleupagus, and let me tell you something. This is one of the most amazing displays of political not answering questions that I've ever seen. Now, the question that George asks Rahm Emanuel is pretty straightforward. It was all about Benghazi, and when the consulate made a request for extra security, somebody said no at the State Department for the extra security. So George Snuffleupagus wants to know who that is.
Who rejected the request for more security and why?
Yeah, but George, first of all, I've been fortunate in my life to work on both sides of Pennsylvania Avenue.
Yeah, so he knows what it's like to be a whore and a John. Isn't that nice? Thank you, Rahm. Do you notice how he doesn't answer the question, but he just starts to answer the question he wished George asked him, which I guess that question was, how many sides of Pennsylvania Avenue have you worked on? Right? He just starts in with his own story. He's a real pro. Here's the rest of his story.
And the President of the United States has ordered an investigation of what happened, who's responsible, and bring them to justice, just like he did Osama bin Laden, al-Awlaki, and the leadership of al-Qaeda. But that's what you have to do in the Oval Office.
Yes, and so continuing on with not answering your question, here's some kick-assy things about my boss. And if you just listen to me, you'll love everything, okay? He keeps...
Now, I've also worked in Congress where you have an oversight responsibility. And with that oversight responsibility comes responsibility.
Oh, did you know that?
Yeah.
That with oversight responsibility also comes responsibility, but so does oversight. Don't forget that. You want to say those things twice. What the?
You should, though, Jim, give him credit for doing that, because that shows power. You know, being able to do that. You know, a lot of folks won't let the index finger come out a little further than the other one.
Mm-hmm. Oh, are you talking about?
Yeah, that when you're making a really good point, you keep them all back when you're not sure, and then when you really want to stick it to them, you bring that one out.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So that you're giving me some behind the scenes. This is some good tips.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'm looking at the things he's saying.
No, it's all about.
It's all about the visuals, right? Yeah. The metrics, the theater.
It's about visual cues. You know what I was telling you about this? Mm-hmm. It's all about that.
Okay. Well, he's got more. He spins his story. Now he's just going to start spinning his story, and he turns it into a political attack on his opponent. It's great. Watch this.
Yeah. And what Darrell Issa did by releasing names and that entire document of individuals who are working with America put people at risk in Libya. And people around the world will now know that you are at risk if you cooperate with the United States. That office, that chairmanship of that committee, comes with responsibility. And you cannot act reckless with it. Now, we have a foreign policy issue. It's going to be handled, and people that did this will be brought to justice, and how it happened will be investigated so we can never see it again. But the idea that people from day one have been trying to politicize this event, in my view, is absolutely reckless.
Yes, we're taking care of everything. Everyone's going to, not only we're going to catch those terrorists, we're going to have better security. Everyone's going to get a bowl of ice cream and a ride on a roller coaster. We're doing everything. What else do you guys need us to do?
You know, I'll be honest, I don't know why we're even in the Middle East.
Uh-huh.
I mean, Americans can't relate to those people, you know? They don't even water their front lawn. You know, pride starts at the curb and it ends at the den. You know, what kind of an animal doesn't play bumper pool?
You know what? I'm with you on that one, Representative. I am really with you on this one.
Yeah.
Okay, so now here's an example of some right-wingers not answering a direct question. Here they have Marco Rubio on, and George asks Marco Rubio a direct question about the Lilly Ledbetter Act, which it's the Fair Pay Act,
Sure.
right?
Yeah.
So we
call it the Dyke Act.
So Mitt Romney
That was Jim. I apologize for that. The Angry Dyke Act.
Okay. Now Mitt Romney won't say he's for or against it. He won't. He's afraid to make a commitment on the Lilly Ledbetter. So George asks Marco Rubio, the senator from Florida, a direct question about it, and here's how he handles it.
Does Governor Romney support the Lilly Ledbetter Fair Pay Act or not?
I think that anyone who is working out there and making a living, if you're the most qualified person for the job, you should be able to get paid. You should get paid as much as your male counterpart. Everyone agrees with that principle. But just because they call a piece of legislation an equal pay bill doesn't make it so. In fact, much of this legislation is in many respects nothing but an effort to help trial lawyers collect their fees and file lawsuits, which may not contribute at all whatsoever to increasing pay equity in the workplace.
So apparently, Marco Rubio says that Mitt Romney is for women getting equal pay unless they don't and they have to sue for it. I guess that's what it is. And if there was ever a law that made sure that employees got equal pay, he would be against it. It's kind of tough to tell. Can you have anything to say?
I'm just a big fan of him, you know. It's so nice to encounter a Hispanic who doesn't overpronounce the Spanish words.
So he's saying that he would be for a bill that would allow employees to get equal pay, but there will be absolutely no legal repercussions if they don't. Right? That's what he's saying. No, I don't want a law. Yeah, I want them to get free pay, but if they don't, no legal repercussions. So that's Mitt Romney gently suggesting a better tomorrow.